Dear students, this is of the video lecture on the subject electrical measurement and instrumentation. We will start with the unit number 1. We had discussed about the structure of the STPA syllabus. All the units for unit number 1, number 6, a brief introduction to the experiments which are to be conducted, part A, part B, and the books that which are need to refer. So moving next, I have prepared certain EMI notes, handwritten notes, as well as the class notes. The handwritten notes are with me in my notebook. I will scan them and then I will upload it on the Google Classroom, as well as I will prepare a video based on the handwritten notes. These are the notes which I have prepared with the help of the internet. So I have prepared the detailed theory notes for unit number 1. Unit number 1 is regarding electrical measurement and instrumentation, their classification, different types of the measuring instruments, their working principles, and many more. So let us go through these notes in detail for better understanding of the unit number 1. So dear student, let's start with the measuring instruments. First, definition of the instrument. So how will you define the measuring instruments? So sorry, before going in the details, let us go through the syllabus of the unit number 1. So this is a brief about the unit number 1. Classification of the measuring instruments, characteristics of the measuring instruments, which will include static and dynamic, accuracy, linearity, speed of the response, dead zone, repeatability, resolution, span, reproducibility, and drifts. So these are the certain characteristics of the measuring instruments. So to become a good measuring instruments, a healthy and more accurate, these characteristics that I just told you are required. The necessity of the calibration. Calibration means to test the caliber, whether the instrument is in the healthy condition or unhealthy condition. The unhealthy condition means whether it is giving the inaccurate results or it is exhibiting the errors. If it is so, then we must find out it and we must eliminate it. This is referred as the calibration. So certain necessity of the calibrations, standards and their classification, absolute and secondary instruments, types of the secondary instruments, that which will include indicating, integrating and recording, analog and digital. These are the types of the measuring instruments, secondary instruments. Ammeter and voltmeter theory, essentials of indicating instruments, that is diffracting, controlling and damping system, construction, working principle, torque equation, advantages and disadvantages of MI, that is moving iron instruments, both attraction and repulsion type, block diagram and operation of digital ammeter and voltmeter. The section B will include range extension, that is instrument transformers, construction, connection of CT and PT in the circuit, advantages of CT and PT for range extension of MI instruments, transformation ratio, turns ratio, nominal ratio, burden ratio and phase angle error, all this with the descriptive treatment only. So don't worry about the unit number 1, it's quite lengthy, though we'll cover in a very systematic way for your better understanding. So we'll come back to the class notes. So let us start with the definition of the instrument. An instrument is a device in which we can determine the magnitude or value of the quantity which is to be measured. The quantity either that is physical, the quantity which is to be measured, that has to be determined with the help of the certain instruments. That is nothing but the measuring instruments. Let me repeat. An instrument is a device in which we can determine the magnitude or value of the quantity which is to be measured. For an example, a thermometer. A thermometer is a device, it's an instrument which is used to find out the temperature of a body, temperature of a liquid. So, thermometer is a device with the help of which we are finding out the temperature. The thermometer here acts as a measuring instruments. And another example that nothing but the instrument, a physical instrument like watch. A simple example that is used to indicate the time of the day. We can say this as indicating instruments. Another one example is that daily use that we are using at home. That is nothing but a simple energy meter that is installed in your household. That energy meter indicates how much amount of the energy that has been consumed on a daily basis, integrated with respect to the number of the days of a month, so that the utility will charge you the certain amount of the tariff. The utility means who is providing the electricity. So don't worry about it. The measuring quantity can be voltage, current, power, and energy. Generally, the instruments are classified in two categories. So let me tell you again, the measuring quantity which is to be measured, that is a measurand. A quantity which is to be measured is referred as the measurand. Measurand. So that quantity in electrical field, there is the voltage, current, power, and energy. And the instruments which are used to measure all of them are the voltmeter, ammeter, wattmeter, and energy meter respectively. So generally instruments are classified in two categories. First, absolute instrument, and second one as the secondary instrument. So let's go in the detail. The absolute instrument determines the magnitude of the quantity to be measured. That is measurand. The quantity which is to be measured is referred as the measurand. In terms of the instrument parameter, this instrument is really used because each time the value of the measuring quantity varies. So we have to calculate the magnitude of the measuring quantity analytically, which is a time consuming. These type of instruments are suitable for laboratory use. For an example, tangent galvanometer. So, see here, this is a galvanometer. A galvanometer is an electromechanical instrument used for, why electromechanical? Because it works on the principle of electrical energy as well as the mechanical energy. So electromechanical, that indicates there are certain parts of this instrument which are rotating or moving. So a galvanometer is an electromechanical instrument used for detecting and indicating an electric current. So this instrument first has to detect the current, means sense the current, and then indicate the current on a current scale. A galvanometer works as an actuator by producing a rotary deflection of a pointer over a calibrated scale. This deflection is in the response to electric current flowing through a coil in a constant magnetic field. That is nothing but the working principle of a motor. When current carrying conductor is placed in between the magnetic field or in the vicinity of the magnetic field, it experiences a mechanical force. Means that a conductor which is carrying a current start moving in a particular direction. Same principle is used for the movement of the pointer over a scale, and that scale contains a calibrated ammeter current scale. So this is nothing but the galvanometer. So galvanometer, tangent galvanometer is an example of the absolute instrument. Let us see the next one, the secondary instrument. The instrument determines the value of the quantity to be measured directly. Are you getting? The quantity which is to be measured, that is the measurand. This is done directly. Generally, these instruments are calibrated by comparing with another standard secondary instrument. Examples of such instruments are voltmeter, ammeter, and wattmeter, etc. Practically, secondary instruments are suitable for measurement rather than the absolute instrument, because absolute instruments are time consuming rather than the secondary instruments. So secondary instruments are again subclassified as indicating instruments, recording, integrating, and electromechanically indicating instruments. So see, four uh, these are the four types of the secondary instruments which are mostly used in industries as well as day-to-day routine life. Indicating instruments, recording, integrating, and electromechanically indicating instruments. We'll go in the detail. So indicating instruments. This instrument uses a dial and a pointer to determine the value of the measuring quantity. The pointer indication gives the magnitude of the measuring instruments. That indication, that's why it's a indicating instruments. So that pointer moves along over the scale to indicate the quantity or the magnitude of the measurand. Again, let me tell you, measurand means a quantity which is to be measured. Recording instruments. This type of instruments records the magnitude of the quantity to be measured continuously over a specific period of the time. For an example, seismograph. That seismograph is nothing but a recording instrument. See here, a seismometer is an instrument that responds to ground motions such as caused by earthquake, volcanic eruptions, and explosions. Seismometers are usually combined with a timing device. See, seismograph is the recording device over a specific period of the time. That's why it contains the timing device and a recording device to form a seismograph. You can visit the Wikipedia for the more details. Next one is indicating sorry integrating instrument. This type of instrument gives the total amount of the quantity to be measured over a specific period of the time. Integrating means integration from small to large, whereas derivation is from large to small. There is a best difference between derivation and integration. So integration is nothing but multiplication by the time. For an example, P is equal to Vi, that gives you the power, but P is equal to Vi into time, that gives you the energy. So product of power with respect to time is nothing but the energy. So to measure that energy for a specific period of the time, we are using a integrating instrument. The best example of it is energy meter. Let us see the next one. Electromechanical indicating instrument. For satisfactory operation, electromechanical indicating instrument, these forces are necessary. Electromechanical indicating instruments, which are nothing but which are using the effect of electrical energy to have output of mechanical energy. So input is the electrical energy, output is the mechanical energy. So there are three different basic forces which are required for best operation of electromechanical indicating instrument. That first, deflecting force, second, controlling force, and third one is the damping force. We'll see all these forces in a detail in a next video. Thank you for your patient listening and keep learning.